Welcome everyone. Today we will dive into one of the most complex and urgent situations of our time, the escalating conflict between Russia and Ukraine and the delicate geopolitical balance that arises from it. Before proceeding, if you find this topic relevant, subscribe to the channel and activate notifications so as not to miss our future insights. But now, have you ever wondered how things really are on the ground and what the global repercussions of this crisis could be? Let's find out together. The recent evolution of the conflict in Ukraine is not only a military confrontation, but also a powerful symbol of global tensions that are manifesting themselves with new intensity. The dynamic and dangerous power play between Russia and the West has triggered a series of events that require in-depth analysis and critical understanding. Starting with the U.S. Congress's refusal to approve further aid for Ukraine, we see a complicated web of domestic politics emerging that intertwines global destinies with local decisions. This gesture raised quite a few eyebrows and called into question the continuity and solidity of Western support for Kyiv. This decision not only highlighted the internal political fatigue of the U.S., but also sent a clear signal to other nations who were observing and reacting accordingly. In parallel, we witness a Russia that, under Putin's leadership, has wasted no time in capitalizing on the perceptions of a disunited West. By extending its influence into Africa and Asia, Moscow seeks to forge new alliances and consolidate existing ones, offering what many developing countries desperately seek: infrastructure, economic investment, and a promise of non-interference in their internal affairs. This strategy not only strengthens Russia's global position, but also directly challenges Western influence in these regions. On the Ukrainian front, resilience is not only military, but also moral and civil. The cities, although devastated, rise from the ashes. The civilian population, with a courage that has few equals, continues to support the war effort and defending one's land with iron determination. This indomitable spirit is a clear signal that despite difficulties, national identity and sovereignty remain non-negotiable. The entry of new members such as Sweden into the NATO alliance is not only a sign of solidarity, but also an indicator of growing concern for European security. Each new entry into the alliance is perceived by Russia as a worsening of the conflict, an expansion of a hostile front that is getting ever closer to its borders. This aspect highlights the growing importance of a coordinated and shared defense policy among European nations and beyond. The economic war against Russia, with its sanctions and trade conflicts, has created a stalemate in which both sides suffer damage. The sanctions, while undoubtedly affecting some sectors of the Russian economy, have failed to change the direction or intensity of Moscow's military ambitions. This has led some analysts to suggest a new sanction strategy, more targeted and more stinging, which could actually hit where it hurts most, without however triggering a global economic crisis. Last but not least, the humanitarian impact of this war is devastating. Millions of people have been forced from their homes, seeking refuge in other nations as their homes and cities are destroyed. Humanitarian organizations are under extreme pressure, trying to provide aid and support to a population in growing need, while the world watches, often helplessly, at the suffering and destruction. What do you think of the international response to the Ukrainian crisis? Do you believe the West is doing enough, or are there avenues of action that have not yet been explored? Write your opinion in the comments. In Ukraine, despite the bombings, the population shows extraordinary resilience. The affected cities are slowly rebuilding, and the internal defense sector is starting to produce weapons. However, every Ukrainian success is watched with concern by Russia, which sees the expansion of NATO, with the entry of new members such as Sweden, as a direct threat. Western sanctions, while having affected the Russian economy, have not been decidedly conclusive. Many are now calling for more targeted sanctions, which can effectively target oligarchs and critical sectors such as energy and technology. As the situation evolves, it is crucial not only to support Ukraine with military aid, but also to offer economic and political support. The West must build a strong network of alliances and maintain a unified position to contain aggression and work towards a peaceful solution. Creative diplomacy and ongoing engagement will be crucial to navigating this crisis.